And now, this world shall know pain. Almighty push! You won't get away.
This stops now! Wind style Rasen Shuriken! Try this!
Almighty push! Shadow clone?
You're mine!
What is up, toy collectors? jmanimation here, and today we're gonna be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Sage Mode Naruto Uzumaki, savior of Konoha, as well as the villain who he fought in this appearance, Pain Tendo, the Rinnegan of the Six Paths. So excited to finally have these figures on hand, especially Sage Mode Naruto, because it brings back a lot of memories. Sage Mode Naruto actually left more impact to me more than Kurama Mode, because I mean, yes, Kurama Link Mode is technically way more powerful than Sage Mode, but I remember being so hyped when Naruto first appeared in his red jacket. He was just standing there, crossed arms, looking so cool. You start to wonder how much stronger he's gotten training from Mount Myoboku. How is he gonna defeat Pain, who is so powerful he was able to destroy the Hidden Leaf Village? Those were good times, man. Ever since I saw that fight, I've always wanted to have a Sage Mode Naruto figure, and now I finally do have one. If you're wondering, I didn't get any of the older SHF Narutos from the OG line because I wasn't collecting import figures at the time, because I was still in school back then and they were very expensive for a kid like me. But now, thanks to you guys supporting my channel, I am able to continue on buying figures and make many contents relating to action figures, hence why I was able to get this newer version, and also a special thanks to BigBadToyStore for sending over the SH Figuarts Pain as well, so I can review him with Naruto right here. He is still in stock on their website right now, so if you want him, there will be links down in the description. Sage Mode Naruto is unfortunately sold out, so if you want this guy, you'll have to look somewhere else. So with that out of the way, let's now take a closer look at Naruto himself. First off, here is the base figure without any of the soft goods and accessories. Many people complain why this version is so expensive when it is literally the same body mold as the regular version, just with some new accessories. And you know, while that is true, it's only half true, and I'ma tell you why. So first of all, while the body mold is the same as the Naruto right here, one major change that they did is the head sculpt. While it may not seem like it's new, it actually is. As you can see here, the regular Naruto, although the sculpting looks very much alike, they're not exactly the same. But my favorite part is that the headband is now attached on a ball joint, which means now we can actually rotate this around, which is how it should have been from the beginning. So glad they finally did this. It is just so much better to pose Naruto with his headband blowing sideways. Unfortunately though, since this is an entirely new sculpt, they also changed the peg holes for the faces, which prevents other faceplates from previous Naruto figures to go in it. Even the Sage Mode DLC that came from Obito, like what? This was such a big letdown because I really wanted to be able to use this updated head sculpt with both his regular and Sage Mode appearance. But I guess we can't have it that easy. If you also happen to have the Sage Mode faceplates from the Arthur Toys accessory kit, they also don't fit on this head sculpt, unfortunately. You can swap the regular Naruto head on this new body if you want, although it wouldn't really change anything because it is still the same body mold as the regular one, and plus the hair colors wouldn't really match either. Now besides the new head sculpt, everything below the neck, as I've said, is the same exact molds as we've seen from the regular Naruto. The colors are just slightly more muted on the Sage Mode version. Personally, I can't really say which one I like more. I guess the colors on this newer one does give off more of a premium finish to it, but I do also like the brighter orange on the regular one, so you can't really go wrong with either. Now here's how the Sage Mode Naruto looks with the soft goods jacket, and it does look pretty cool on him. There are people out there who do prefer plastic jackets like my buddy Kyle's Gamer Room, and you know that's fine, we all have our own preferences, because aesthetically, plastic jackets do look more natural on a small figure like this. But because we do get more posability and options with soft goods, I did over time started to prefer having soft goods in my figures, especially if it's a huge cloak that will hinder a lot of movements like the Akatsuki robes, which by the way, I also got this custom soft goods and hat accessory for a certain character that I'll be reviewing soon, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, regardless of how good they are, it's no secret that soft goods can look pretty bulky. As you can see, the shoulder part is kind of floating in there, although it doesn't look too bad in my opinion. You just have to make some adjustments like pulling the jacket down a bit to make it look just about right. He also comes with the scroll as well, which I do like. The strap is made out of a rubbery material while the scroll itself is made of a hollow plastic. I did get some mispaint right here, thankfully it isn't too noticeable. According to the instructions, you can put it on Naruto by posing the figure like this. And with that, Sage Mode Naruto is fully geared up and is looking pretty sick. Again, you don't have to worry about the scroll messing up his balance because this thing is very light, so that's not going to be a problem. Now before we go even further, let's now move over to pain. And just like with Naruto, we're first gonna look over this figure without the Akatsuki cloak. At first glance, you may say that his body mold is just another lazy reuse from Itachi, but no. It may seem that way because they're wearing a similar outfit, but unlike Naruto, this body mold is actually 100% new sculpt. The most obvious difference are the collar and arms, but as you can see, even the parts where they actually could have gotten away with reusing parts, like the shoulders and legs, are still completely new sculpts. Like you can tell just by looking at the way the wrinkles are sculpted on, they're different. And I know a lot of fans would have actually preferred having a shirtless version of Pain under his cloak. I mean, I do also think that would have been pretty dope, but this was how he originally looked inside of the cloak before it got torn apart. And it was stated as well by Tamashii Nations that they did personally ask Kishimoto, the creator of Naruto, about how Pain's outfit would have looked like under his cloak. Because we've never actually seen Pain without the cloak other than his final battle with Naruto, which is why a lot of people assumed that he was half naked under that. Now here's how the Akatsuki cloak looks fresh out of the box, and I'm showing you this because I wanted to point out how they're including soft goods on plastic bags now. Same goes for the Sage Mode jacket, because Itachi's actually had a separate plastic layer for his cloak, but not Naruto or Pain, and you know, that's not really a big deal, but it does kind of feel cheap considering these are $80 figures and for premium Bandai. Anyways, here's how the Akatsuki cloak looks on Pain, and as I've said earlier, when it comes to soft goods, they do tend to look bulkier than they normally should, and that can definitely be seen here on Pain. This is the same cloak we've gotten from Itachi, except this time they placed the clip higher compared to Itachi's, because Pain normally wears his cloak all closed up. However, due to that difference, I do find it difficult to make the collar look good on Pain. Even though they've already adjusted the clip higher, it is just so much easier to just have it open like Itachi's, because otherwise, you can't really see his face. So I ended up just leaving it slightly open, even though it's no longer accurate to the show, but this is just my preferred look for the figure, since trying to close it up doesn't really look all that good to me. Now taking a look at the rest of the accessories for both figures, starting off with Naruto, we do get a total of 5 interchangeable faceplates, which I am very happy about. I always love it when we get multiple facial expressions. The default one is the neutral serious face, which you've seen already. It comes with a teeth-gritting angry face, a yelling angry face, a closed eyes face, which is for when he's meditating, and then we got a smiling face, which is something that could have been left out since we rarely see Naruto smile while in Sage Mode, but nonetheless still a nice addition. As for hands, we do get a total of 6 pairs of hands. We get a pair of fists, a pair of widespread open hands, a pair of relaxed hands, a pair of chakra gathering hands, you know, when he's meditating, the usual pair of jutsu hands, and a pair of Rasengan grabbing hands, which of course can hold the Rasengan effects. Now the Rasengan barrage effects are much bigger than the Rasengan we got from the regular Naruto, and the sculpt is much more detailed too. I didn't realize the Rasengan barrage were actually bigger than the normal Rasengans. I thought it was just two regular Rasengans being used at the same time. We of course have the Rasen Shuriken as well, which at first glance may look like it's the same mold we got from the Kurama Link mode, but if you take a closer look, the patterns are completely different. Sage Mode version has a lot more lines going on, while Kurama Mode is a lot more smoother looking. They could have easily just reused the Kurama Link Rasen Shuriken and it wouldn't really make much difference, but I do appreciate the fact that they still made the effort to make an entirely new mold for this, so very good, Tamashi. And then last but not least, for Naruto's accessories, we do also get a brand new crossed arm accessory, which in my opinion is way better than the one we got from the regular release, because now instead of swapping out from his biceps, we're now gonna unplug from his elbows, which is so much easier in my opinion. Also, since he is wearing a jacket in this version, it is more convenient to just unplug from his elbows. Another thing as well is because over time, the bicep joints on my regular Naruto did start to get loose as I kept swapping out the arms, so that was kind of annoying, but with this new version, the elbow joints are so much tighter when plugging in. It actually stays there and has a satisfying click, which is much more comfortable to use. So yeah, overall a lot of improvements has been done to Naruto, which is great. The only thing that sucks really is just we can't use his other faces on this new head sculpt. Other than that, this figure has a pretty good selection of accessories. Anyways, now moving over to Pain's accessories, and here we can see that he comes with much less accessories than Naruto. He first comes with 3 faces, one neutral serious face, an angry teeth gritting face, and an angry shouting face. So as you can see, not a whole lot of expressions, but this is one of those times when I'm actually fine with it, since Pain doesn't exactly show a lot of emotions, so this is pretty much a good selection for this particular character. It then comes with 5 pairs of hands, which are a pair of fists, a pair of widespread open hands, a pair of unique kind of angry looking hands, a pair of clapping hands, and 2 gripping hands for holding 1 chakra rod. Just 1. So this is where we see the major difference from these two figures. You see, both Pain and Sage Mode Naruto cost about $80 to $100 each, depending on where you go, and you can tell just how much accessories Naruto has compared to Pain. They could have at least given us 2 chakra rods. I mean, it's just a piece of plastic, how can it be that hard to include just 1 more? I mean, we barely get anything else here. Do we count the soft goods as accessories? Since the characters are meant to wear these outfits at all times, I kind of feel like they shouldn't be counted. Guys, let me know in the comments below, should the soft goods be considered as an accessory? Because even if it was, this is still less than what we got from Naruto. So that's probably my major issue with Pain, is that they sort of cheaped out on his accessories. Like, I'm not asking for a whole lot because he doesn't really have any more to add, other than maybe impact effects to showcase his Shinra Tensei. But just 1 chakra rod? Come on, Tamashi, I mean, what am I gonna do if this breaks? Anyways, moving over to articulation, when it comes to Naruto, since this is the same exact body as the regular 3.0, it does have the same amount of range. He can pretty much do the same poses as the regular Naruto. The only major difference is the headband, which we can now move around. As for Pain, he pretty much has good range just like most other Naruto releases. He's got butterfly joints, swivel on the arms, ball jointed wrists, ab crunch that can move that much forward and back, waist swivel and tilt, legs can move back, forward, swivel, knee bend, slight swivel over here, foot rotation, move up, down, and side to side. Now for some height comparisons, here are both Sage Mode Naruto and Pain next to each other. I know Pain is supposed to be taller than Naruto because he is much older than him, but I didn't expect him to tower over Naruto like this. I actually find it a little difficult to have them posed up looking at each other because of how much taller Pain is compared to Naruto. But anyways, here they are next to the SH Figuarts Kurama Link Naruto and Jinchuriki Entrusted with Hope. As you can see, since the Sage Mode body is the same as the regular release, he is still a little taller compared to Kurama Link mode. Technically, the Kurama Link mode is the proper height for Naruto, but I'm pretty much over it by now. I mean, it's not that much of a difference. Next, here they are alongside the SH Figuarts Team 7. Here they are next to the SH Figuarts Obito and Itachi. Here they are next to other SH Figuarts. Here they are next to Figma, some Revoltech Amazing Yamaguchi figures, and some Marvel Legends. So for my final thoughts, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys, but I definitely think that Sage Mode Naruto is worth the price. Yes, I know he is expensive, he's about $80 to $100 on retail, compared to the regular Naruto that's like $35. And yes, you can technically just buy some soft goods and Sage Mode accessories from third-party sellers and make your own custom Sage Mode Naruto, but seriously, if you really want to have like the best quality of soft goods, you know, ones that doesn't have the seam line sticking out, you're going to have to pay $20 to $30 for a custom jacket, plus the Arthur Toys accessory kits for the Sage Mode faceplates and Rasen Shuriken. I think a lot of people disregards the fact that buying all that will cost you about $60 bucks, plus the $35 base Naruto figure, which in total is just about as much as the official release. So I'd say instead of going through all that, you're better off just getting this figure. Unless of course if you can no longer find them at a decent price, then that may be a good reason to resort to third parties. I'm honestly loving this figure just as much as the Kurama Link Naruto, and that says a lot because this figure is my favorite from the line so far, at least until this guy showed up, and right now, I'm actually having trouble deciding which one I like better. So yeah, Sage Mode Naruto, peak figure. Pain is definitely a great figure as well, but with so little accessories and the struggle I had from posing his collar correctly does kinda annoy me a bit. He's a great addition to the line, and because he is one of my favorite villains in the series, I am very happy to finally have a figure of him. But just looking at what this figure has to offer compared to Sage Mode Naruto, it's a little disappointing because he's about the same price and yet he comes with less accessories. I understand having 3 faces because Pain doesn't really show a lot of emotions, but I definitely think we should have gotten more than 1 chakra rod. Sheesh. Now another channel that I also follow, DK Guillotine, mentioned that it would have been cool if they included alternate heads for each of the 6 paths of Pain. And you know, while that is cool and all and I'm on board with that, I don't see Tamashii Nations doing that because they can just say that, oh well, each of the 6 Pains are considered different characters. For instance, the Yahiko Pain is called the Pain Tendo, the Robot Pain is the Pain Shurado, the Summoning Pain is the Pain Shikoshodo, etc, etc. There's also the fact that each of the Pains have different heights and different body builds, so it's not going to be accurate either way if they're sharing the same body. I betcha if this line continues to sell well, maybe after 5 or more years, I think there's a chance that we could get the rest of the Pains in individual releases, like all 5 of them with each of their own bodies. They're all gonna have their own sets of faces and hands, etc. I don't think it's gonna happen soon, but it may happen if the line becomes as popular as the Dragon Ball line. But anyways, despite those issues, I am pretty happy to have this character in action figure form. He's just a little pain to swallow because of the lack of accessories, but not gonna lie, to actually finally own this figure is a dream come true. And with that, I can say that SH Figuarts Sage Mode Naruto and Pain Tendo are absolute peak figures together. Again, if you're convinced and you want to grab Pain, there will be links to BigBadToyStore down in the description. Buying from those links is a big help for me, so be sure to use them as you like. And with that said, thank you all so much for watching this review and for supporting the channel as always. Check out my other videos if you want to watch more, and be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you're new here. Have a great day and peace out.